right. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Bullitt County Fiscal Court. It's not on? There you go. There you go. Well, good morning, welcome to the Bullitt County Fiscal Court. It's 9:30. And at this time, I would like to have, where's Joe Wells at? Joe, if you'd come up and lead us in an invocation and pledge, please, sir.
Father God, you said where two or more gather in my name, there I will be in their midst. Father God, we thank you. We know you are with us, Father God. And we just ask, Father God, that you continue being with us. I pray, Father God, there's so many people suffering today all over the world, especially in Ukraine. I just pray, Father God, that you just help them to find peace in that country and help us to get back to some sort of civility in this world. I pray, Father God, that you bless our judge, our sheriff, our council, our magistrates, all those present here today, Father God. I just pray that you keep us all safe. Be with the magistrates and the judge as they make the decisions of this county. And I just pray, Father God, that it is to glorify you in some way. Father, for all these things, I ask in your Son, Jesus' most holy name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. At this time, can you call roll?
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Logsdon?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Rahal?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes. Thank you. Treasurer's transfer report. Thank you, Conan. Presentation, approval of all bills.
Make one motion. Second.
Got a motion by 1st District Magistrate Mitchell, a second by 2nd District Magistrate Logsdon to approve the bills as presented. Any discussion, members? Can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Logsdon?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Rahal?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes from the July 19, 2022 meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes. Second.
Got a motion by 4th District Magistrate Rahal, a second by 2nd District Magistrate Logsdon to approve the minutes as presented. Any discussion, members of the court? Hearing none, Sam, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Logsdon?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Rahal?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell? Yes. Motion carried.
Thank you. Presentations at this time, I'd like to have the Sheriff Scholler. Yes.
Alex, you step up, let me introduce you to the court. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody, what I'd like to do today is introduce Mr. Alex Payne. And Alex is our new Chief Deputy here at the Bullitt County Sheriff's Office. And to give you a brief rundown as to what Alex brings to the table here, Alex started in 1983 with the Davis County Sheriff's Office. He spent about 2 years there doing that, and then he got on with the Kentucky State Police in '85. Served first over in Pikeville, then he served in Henderson about 4 years. Then he stood up with the first group when the Kentucky State Police formed their first full-time SRT team, and Alex was on that unit and served there from '89 until '94, at which time he then went to the Kentucky State Police Academy and worked there for the next 10 years, serving ultimately as the coordinator of defensive tactics for the State Police Academy. He then retired and went to work for the J-Town Police. Subsequent to that, he went to work for the League of Cities, served as a law enforcement specialist, and in that traveled around and gave advice and saw what police departments all around the state were doing for several years, and then went back to the J-Town Police. In 2016, he was appointed as Deputy Commissioner of the Kentucky State Police, served in that capacity for 2 years, and then in 2018, he began working as the Acting Commissioner of the Kentucky Department of Criminal Justice Training, and served in that capacity. Then in 19, he went on as the appointed commissioner, and did that until the administration changed and Governor Beshear came into office, and he changed horses in that regard. So Alex has been a mentor and friend of mine for 10 years or so, and we're very, very blessed here to have him. And I'm personally just very blessed to have him to serve as my right arm, or me serve as his right arm, or to one of the two, and he'll be heading up all of the policing end of the sheriff's office. So, gentlemen, and Alex, this is Dennis Mitchell, Sean Logston, Judge Summers, Joe Rayhill, and Joe Laswell back in the back. He's a magistrate, and then our county attorney, Rob Flaherty. So, and then the people of Bullitt County.
Good deal.
Well,
There you go. Welcome, Alex.
Just take a second. I'm
Yes,
tickled to death to be here. I'm honored. The last couple of years, I think Walt left out. My wife and I raised 5 children. We have 5 grandchildren and 1 on the way this December. So I've been a babysitter, professionally that is, for the last couple of years. And this fine man asked me to come and help, and I'm honored to do so. And I look forward to serving you folks. And thank the good Lord each and every day there's people like you all here that watch over this county. And I promise you, we'll do what we can to protect and serve each and every one of you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Alex. Okay, and at this time on presentations, we haven't done very many of these in the last 3.5 years, but it just so happens we've had a plethora of real good community stewards and servants decide to move on and do something different with their life. And at this time, I would like to call Joe Wells up here. And members of the court, if you're welcome to join me with this, if you would. But I know you all know Joe. Joe's been a real supporter and advocate of our community. Joe recently was our chaplain, and under the chaplain's duties, he comforted people in distress, and he's had some real tragedies to deal with in the last, when I'm going to say in the last year, that's happened in our community. And we can't thank Joe enough for his service, but Joe's chose to move on to do other things with his life. And Joe, we truly appreciate you, and we'll miss you, but keep us in your prayers, if you will, please, sir. Thank you, Joe. Okay, thank you, thank you. And at this time, another guy that I've known since his hair was dark and mine was black, but he looked, Billy, come up here, please, sir. The Pioneer News wrote a great, what I'm going to say, biography and history of this guy, but what he did with Options Unlimited for our community, it deserves more recognition than we can give him here at this court. I can't say enough about Willie and what he's done to help the youth of our community move forward and to prosper. But Willie, can't say enough about you. Thank you for everything that you've done, and we're going to miss you, but enjoy it, and you're always welcome here. You know that.
Thanks.
You're welcome, Willie. Thank you so much.
What are you doing?
And last but not least, someone who helped start a fire department many years ago, and he's had an outstanding career and made a lot of tough decisions out there.
What are you doing?
And some really great decisions too. George Roder, George, if you would come up, and Ed and Kevin, you all are all welcome to come up here, Connie, as well. Some of the board members are here.
Retired fire
So,
police officer. Okay. You feeling okay? You feeling okay? Sorry. Is it? They can't do nothing right now. Got too many other problems.
George, I can't thank you enough for what you've done for the Zonton Fire Department.
Thank you.
You've had some tough decisions and tough times lately.
Yeah.
And in the last 12 years, you've gave a lot to our community. And more than 12, but
Yeah.
it's been we're going to miss you, but you'll be blessed with what you're doing. So, you want to say anything, or Connie's board member, Ed's a board member?
I just appreciate this very much, and I have spent a lot of time at the fire department back when they was in the old house. And it was on any boards or anything, but I helped them out as much as I could. On the fire department for a while. I've enjoyed it. It's been a good ride for me. It's kind of into the line for me.
Yeah.
I'm done for it.
No, you're not. You're not done for. Anyway. You'll be a good mentor to the rest of them. So,
Okay, thank you.
thank you, George, for everything you've done. Come on, Sean, you're good. Thank you. Okay. We have no old business for today. New business, first meeting, public hearing for zoning ordinance 22-14. Kenneth Jason and Stacy M. Jones. Angie?
Good afternoon, or good morning. I'm here for docket 2022Z-22. The applicant is Jason and Stacy Jones. The rezoning will be from agricultural to R3. The location is 250 Phelps Lane. 5.9 acres is in Shepherdsville, 5.9 acres is in the county, so we're here for the 5.9 in the county. The future map shows medium density. The Bullitt County Planning Commission held a meeting on July the 14th of 2022, and based upon the testimony, they requested a zoning change that does meet the comprehensive plan, and it is in character with the existing development. The Planning Commission did recommend a zoning change and sends a favorable recommendation to fiscal court.
Okay. Rob?
To the first reading, Commonwealth of Kentucky County Bullitt zoning ordinance number 22-14. An ordinance relating to changing the zoning of certain property from agricultural to R3 single-family residential. The property in question is 5.9 acres, more or less, located at 250 Phelps Lane, in the unincorporated area of the county. Whereas the fiscal court of Bullitt County has to the notice of public hearing held with the Joint Planning Commission and their recommendations to the commission, the information provided in staff before the Office of Bullitt County Planning and Zoning, and the testimony and evidence presented at the public hearing held with the fiscal court. And whereas the fiscal court concurs in, adopts the reasons of the Joint Planning Commission for said zoning change, and approves and accepts the recommendation of the Planning Commission in this matter as set out in said minutes. And in terms of the proposed zoning change, acceptable and should be approved. And therefore be ordained by the fiscal court of County of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky, Section 1, the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission in document number 2022Z-22, is hereby changed from agricultural to R3 single-family residential. Section 2, this ordinance took effect upon passage of publication required by law. Section 3, should section provision or part of this ordinance be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, then the remainder of this ordinance shall not be affected and shall remain in full course and effect. Section 4, all ordinances or resolutions to the extent they are consistent herewith are hereby repealed. Give first reading and public hearing of the regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the second day of August 2022. To be given second reading and voted upon at the regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 16th day of August 2022.
Thank you, Rob. Anyone here to speak for zoning ordinance 22-14?
Hi, I'm Emily Vessels with Dinsmore, here on behalf of Kenneth and Stacy Jones for the rezoning of their property. Like I said, this is the aerial view of the subject property, and half of it's is in the city and half of it is in the county, so we're just trying to rezone the entire tract to residential use. And the surrounding zoning map, as you can see that red star there, the surrounding is multifamily lower density, and then the future land map is medium density residential. So this area should be zoned residential, even though it's agricultural currently. And then this is just a general view of what the development plan is for the city portion. The portion to the left is the part that is in the county, and there's not a proposed plan as of now, but they're having single family homes developed on the city half as of now. This is the entrance to Phelps Road from West Blue Lake Road, and then back on this other slide, you can see there's going to be an entrance on Nancy Drive to the property that's going to be in the city. And this is in compliance with the comprehensive plan. There are multifamily sites to the north and south of the property, I'm sorry, to the Blue Lake Mobile Home Park, and then the property west of the site is single family developments. So then there's also the fire department is nearby, and Bullitt Lake Middle School and Shepherdsville Elementary School is also nearby. So this will not excessively burden the community and their financial resources by adding this development to this area.
Let me ask you a question. Is that road and everything was coming off Blue Lake, is that going to another track over here on this one side?
On the left side, or, I'm sorry? I think that road's supposed to be closed, so the only entrance is going to be off Nancy Drive.
And the other is, I think you listed in there that would be served by the Nichols Fire Department?
The Shepherdsville Fire Department is less than 3 miles away, and the Nicholasville one's also is like less than 4 miles away.
You know what I'm saying? That is in the Nichols Fire Department district.
Okay.
They just have a mutual agreement with them, interlocal agreement.
Okay.
Shepherdsville responds, but Shepherdsville got closer to them.
Yes.
So you're pretty good run and everything from 44 there and Raymond Road.
Yes.
With the Nichols and everything, but if Shepherdsville responds to it, they can respond to it a whole lot quicker.
Okay.
And then, like I say, and I'm sure that they do have, most of them all have interlocal agreement. So that's one thing that's pretty critical when you're going out, especially for your insurance and everything. You use it, what you call ISO rating, insurance commission ratings and everything. Makes a big difference on their insurance.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Anyone? Go ahead.
Question on that is so you saying that they're going to shut down Phelps Lane to that property?
Yeah, Mike. This is Mike Hill. He's with LD&D.
Mike?
Hello, Mike Hill with Land Design and Development. We are the engineering firm that is designing the residential development portion that's in the city. No, Phelps Road is going to remain. What's in the county, there's one residence that's accessed through Phelps Road back to that residence. That'll remain as is in the county. The city portion is the colored new lots that you see on the screen. That's what's proposed to be in the future re-subdivided. We're going to be going through that process if the city approves their half of the rezone on that piece, which will all be accessed through Cup Circle and Nancy Drive out to Blue Lick.
Okay. So you have the portion of the city on there drew out, but you don't have what's going on in the county?
There's no proposal for anything in the county. When we went through planning and zoning, they told us that we need, in order to meet the minimum lot sizes for the particular zoning districts, we needed to rezone the entire 11-acre piece, even though part of it was in the county and part of it was in the city.
But the reason you're rezoning to R3 is I mean, on this, it says it's single, 2 dwellings and multifamily. But you're giving us what's going on in the city, but you're not telling us what's going on in the county.
Yeah, there's no proposal for any development at this time on the remainder in the county. R3 was the most appropriate zoning district in working with the planning staff. Property to the south is zoned R3. That's what we're proposing on the city portion of the east is R3.
So the property is under contract in the city. The Joneses have it under contract. The Joneses are retaining what's in the county, and they have no intent at this point to sell. But to avoid creating a freestanding zone, agricultural, less than 10 acres, it needed to be R3, and it is made it consistent with the comprehensive plan.
And they're dividing the tract into 2 halves in essence. And with doing that, anything remaining is going to be less than 10 acres, so it could remain agricultural. So they have to rezone the entire property The only portion that's being developed is actually inside the city of Sherman. The remaining portion, there is no plans to do anything, it's going to remain as is. But in order to comply with the zoning regulations, it had to be rezoned as well, because what's left is going to be less than 10 acres, so it could remain agricultural.
Okay.
And instead of them having to do two different requests with two different zones, they put it into one request for R3, and just easier on them, it's in compliance with the surrounding areas, because the surrounding areas are multi-family, a lot of multi-family. So again, this is just, the only portion in front of you today is the portion that is going to remain as is. It's not going to be developed. At some point, they can come back later and follow up, but as of now, there's nothing, they can't leave it agricultural. Once they take the other part off and develop it, it'll be less than 10 acres.
Right, okay. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thanks.
Anyone here to speak against zoning ordinance 22-14? And none. Angie, first, thank you all so much. The zoning ordinance 22-15, Gerald P. Burke Jr., Angie.
All right, this docket is 2022 Z-34. The applicant is Gerald Burke Jr. Rezoning is agricultural to R1. It's located at 7667 Cedar Grove Road and is in the incorporated area of the county. The size is 10 acres or less. He's created a 1 acre tract, so he had to rezone the whole property for that 1 acre. The future land map does show agricultural. The Bullitt County Planning Commission held a meeting on July the 14th of 2022, and they did find that it meets the comprehensive plan and it does adjoin R1 property. The Bullitt County Planning Commission recommends the rezoning be approved and did send a favorable recommendation to the fiscal court.
Thank you. Bob, please, sir.
The first reading, Commonwealth of Kentucky County Bullitt, zoning ordinance number 22-15. An ordinance relating to changing the zoning of certain property from agricultural to R1 single-family residential. The property in question is 10 acres more or less, located at 7667 Cedar Grove Road in an unincorporated area of the county. Whereas the fiscal court of Bullitt County has considered the evidence of public hearing held by the Joint Planning Commission, the recommendations of the commission, the information provided in the staff report of the Office of Bullitt County Planning and Zoning, and testimony the evidence presented at the public hearing held by the fiscal court. And whereas the fiscal court concurs in, adopts the reasons of the Joint Planning Commission for said zoning change, and approves and accepts the recommendations of the Planning Commission in this matter, is set out in said minutes. In terms of the proposed zoning change is acceptable and should be approved. Now therefore be ordained by the fiscal court of County of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky, Section 1, the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the minutes of records of the Planning Commission, document number 2022 Z-34, which hereby changed from agricultural to R1 single-family residential. Section 2, this ordinance takes effect upon passage and publication required by law. Section 3, change section provision of part of this ordinance be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, then the remainder of this ordinance shall be effected and shall remain in full force and effect. Section 4, all ordinances and resolutions to the extent they are consistent herewith are hereby repealed. Give first reading and public hearing at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the second day of August 2022. To be given second reading and voted upon at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 16th day of August 2022.
Thank you, Rob. Anyone here to speak for zoning ordinance 22-15, Gerald P. Burke Jr.? Counselor, how are you?
John Waltridge, I represent Mr. Burke on this particular zoning application. There's not a whole lot I'm going to say to bore you with details. This is a 10-acre tract that I had to rezone the entire tract to sell off one parcel that's going to be used for a single-family dwelling for a retired firefighter, deputy sheriff. Meets the comprehensive plan, has city utilities, it'd be on-site septic, no curb cuts to any highway. It's going to come off Dreams Inn Road, so it's not going to impact any traffic in the area. Contour is flat. Basically, we just request this zoning be approved by fiscal court. I'll be glad to answer any questions and go into greater detail if y'all have any more to ask about this.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes, sir. Anyone here to speak against zoning ordinance 22-15, Gerald P. Burke Jr.? Hearing seeing none. Angie, first reading of public hearing zoning ordinance 22-16, Jeremiah Miller.
right, this is 2022Z-37. The applicant is Jeremiah Miller. The rezoning is from agricultural to conservation. The location is 355 Eddington Lane. The size of the property is 3.023 acres more or less, and is to create a separate lot. Future land map does show conservation. The Bullitt County Planning Commission held a meeting on July 14th of 2022, and they did recommend that it does meet the comprehensive plan, and recommend the zoning be changed and send a favorable recommendation to fiscal court.
Thank you, Angie. Bob, please, sir.
The first reading of Kentucky County Bullitt zoning number 22-16. An ordinance relating to changing the zoning of certain property from agricultural to conservation. The property in question is 3.023 acres more or less, located at 355 Eddington Lane in an unincorporated area of the county. Whereas the fiscal court of Bullitt County has to the evidence public hearing of the Joint Planning Commission and the recommendation of the commission, the information provided staff before the Office of Bullitt County Planning and Zoning, and testimony and evidence presented at the public hearing held by the fiscal court. Whereas the fiscal court concurs in, adopts the reading of the Joint Planning Commission for said zoning change, and approves and accepts the recommendation of the Planning Commission in this matter as set out in said minutes. In terms of the proposed zoning change, acceptable and should be approved. Now therefore be ordained by the fiscal court of County of Bullitt, Kentucky, Section 1, the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission and document number 2022Z-37, is hereby changed from agricultural to conservation. Section 2, this ordinance take effect upon passing and publication required by law. Section 3, any section of provision requires this ordinance to be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction. Then the remainder of this ordinance shall not be affected and shall remain in full force and effect. Section 4, all ordinances and resolutions to the extent they are consistent herewith are hereby repealed. Again, first reading public hearing at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the second day of August 2022. Be given a second reading of voted upon at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 16th day of August 2022.
Thank you, Rob. Anyone here to speak for zoning ordinance 22-16? Anyone here to speak against zoning ordinance 22-16, Jeremiah Miller? Okay, thank you, Angie. Okay, the first public hearing for zoning ordinance 22-17, Curtis David Hatfield, Christopher Charles Hatfield, Brock Allen Hatfield, Core 5 Industrial Partners. Angie?
Right, this docket is 2022D-38. The owner is Curtis David Hatfield, Christopher Charles Hatfield, and Brock Allen Hatfield. The applicant is Core 5. The rezoning from agricultural to light industrial. The location is 466 Claremont Road. The size of the property is 28 acres more or less. The purpose is for manufacturing and warehousing, and the future land map does show industrial. Bullitt County Planning Commission held a meeting on July 14th of 2022, and they did request a zoning change. It does meet the comprehensive plan. Because of the testimony received at the rezoning change, they requested a favorable recommendation to Bullitt County Fiscal Court. The following restrictions were agreed upon. A landscape plan shall be submitted to the Planning Commission for review and approval prior to the approval of the site plan. And then a landscaping plan shall be addressed buffering 245 or Claremont Road, and then the possible screening along the common property lines.
Okay, thank you, Angie. Rob?
The first reading of Kentucky County Bullitt zoning ordinance number 22-17. An ordinance relating to changing the zoning of certain property from agricultural to IL light industrial. The property in question is 28 acres more or less, located at 466 Claremont Road in an unincorporated area of the county. Whereas the fiscal court of Bullitt County to the evidence public hearing of the Joint Planning Commission and the recommendation of the Planning Commission, the information provided to staff before the Office of Bullitt County Planning and Zoning, the testimony and evidence presented at the public hearing held by the fiscal court. Whereas the fiscal court concurs in, adopts the readings of the Joint Planning Commission for said zoning change, and approves and accepts the recommendation of the Planning Commission in this matter as set out in said minutes. In terms of the proposed zoning change, acceptable and should be approved. Now therefore be ordained by the fiscal court of County of Bullitt, Kentucky, Section 1, the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission and document number 2022Z-38, is hereby changed from agricultural to IL light industrial. Section 2, this ordinance take effect upon passing and publication required by law. Section 3, seeking section provision of part of this ordinance to be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, then the remainder of this ordinance shall be effective and shall remain in full force and effect. Section 4, all ordinances and resolutions to the extent they are consistent herewith are hereby repealed. Give first reading of public hearing at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 2nd day of August 2022. Begin a second reading and vote upon a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 16th day of August 2022.
Thank you, Rob. Anyone here to speak for zoning ordinance 22-17?
Yes, sir. Good morning. Eric Thurston and Emily Vessels here on behalf of the applicant's property owners and also Core 5. And what we want to do today is to give you a quick rundown. We have a PowerPoint. We're not going to take too long on this, but we would like to make sure that it's clear to you the efforts we've gone to address the landscape question that came up during the Planning Commission hearing, and I know is a concern, Judge Summers, to make sure because we're bordering that county property there as we come off 245, so we want to talk about that. With us today, J.D. Barnes, who is with Core 5. Also, Steve Scott and Emily Hill, both with Mendel Scott. Steve is the engineer, and Emily is the landscape expert. Ask her anything about anything that grows, and she will be able to answer it today. You've heard so far, let me go back to that one, the reading of one ordinance, but we actually have two tracks, so I'm going to talk about both tracks here right at the same time, and just ask that you keep that in mind. This is the larger of the two tracks. We've got a total of 33 acres, I believe we have here with the Hatfield family. These two tracks are adjacent to properties already developed by Core 5, and you'll see how this property sits with the little bubble, red bubble there, showing the Hatfield track and the three sites for Core 5, and you'll note, of course, where this is in proximity and the distance. You can see, I'm going to pull out my trusty SD, as I pointed out my Buckman pointer. This is Jake's pointer. I just want you to know. This is the county property. This is all state right of way here, and this is the county property. And so the property we have here is all in this area. Okay. So this gives you a view of looking east of the Core 5 developments. And JD, may I ask you just real quickly to explain to the court Core 5's contribution to the community and who we have here?
Sure. Well, good morning. My name is J.D. Barnes. I'm Vice President of Development with Core 5 Industrial Partners. So thank you for having me here this morning, and appreciate the partnership. This could potentially be our sixth project. Hard to believe, but already 6 buildings potentially in 3 years. The proximity to our Bourbon Logistics Park is immediately east. So the 2 buildings, and I might point as well, just to borrow the trusty pointer here. Thank you, Eric. 245 here, the 65 interchange. This was our first building in the county, our Bourbon 1 facility, which was now home to McKesson, which was largely a part of the COVID response team and Project Warp Speed with the federal government. In this building here, our Bourbon 3 track is UPS Healthcare. So that'll be UPS as part of their pharmaceutical operations as well. And then the building that's under construction here is our Bourbon 2 building, which currently is being built on a speculative basis, but already starting to receive some interest and some excitement given the area and the opportunity here in Bullitt County. So again, this piece and tract here, and as we'll go into it, we'll start showing some of the site plans and some of the way that we've oriented the building, again, to fit in with the overall comprehensive plan of the county. But as I said before, Core 5's excited for would be our 6th building, up the street. We did our Bullitt 1 facility that was home to now Road VN Automotive, and then also our Bullitt 2 facility, which is right off the interstate at Cedar Grove Road. So look forward to some continued success in the area.
Thank you, JD. The McKesson operation, thanks to Judge Summers and his court, it put Bullitt County in the national spotlight at a very critical time, and as JD referenced, and they were all very proud to be part of that. So, and we anticipate this site would have equal importance in the healthcare industry the way things are going right now. So, hopefully that would be the case. Okay. The key here, the most important legal aspect of all this is that the Planning Commission, by unanimous recommendation, did find that this site where the star is on the map, of course next to the county public use sites, is in compliance with the comprehensive plan showing it should be industrial. Okay, so Steve and Emily, I might ask if you all stand up here in a second to talk about this. This is a new development plan that has been created at the request of the Planning Commission, and it includes some photos. Now, those photos in the bottom are very hard to see, but we've got larger versions, so don't worry about that. But this, just to orient you, is 245, of course, and then this is the county border. And these are the two portions that the Planning Commission asked us to address with a plan. Would one of you like to take a stab at that, just kind of quickly? Because I think this is important to the court, and we want to make sure you can see that a great deal of thought and time has gone into it.
I think a couple of things were important. Steve Scotland and not Scott, by the way. They came out of the Planning Commission with screening of the building here. First of all, we oriented the building so that the truck court would be facing to the west, which is to the existing building, Bourbon 2. And so the front of the building and just vehicular car parking for the employees would be facing towards the east and towards the south here. Currently, you can kind of see it's a little bit light, but there's existing row of trees along the east there and even along the south right up against 245. And so we're staying out of the tree line that's in the south there. They did request a berm, so we've got a berm in this open space area here. And then on the east side, the way the train falls kind of from the high point is right in here, and it kind of falls back towards Longlet Creek. It really doesn't make a lot of sense to put a berm in there, but we have incorporated some deciduous and some evergreen trees to enhance the buffer that's already there as far as the trees to be able to help screen from the east as well as from the south there. And I don't know if JD or if Eric had said before, but our truck traffic will be going out from the west and with the shared entrance from Bourbon 2 to get out onto 245. I actually took these pictures from the road kind of showing, oops, there you go, into the site. Right there and there, so, and then this is from the, sorry. Am I doing that? No. This is on the site, kind of on the west side, looking towards the east. So you can see there's a pretty substantial row of trees that exist along the property line, common property line, county property now. And this is, I'm on the south side of Claremont Road, 245, looking into the site, and you can see there's already a fairly good vegetative buffer there as well.
And is this site actually a little below road level?
It is, because the Claremont Road goes up for the overpass there, so it's going up fairly steeply there. So we'll be below 245, but a little bit above elevation-wise from the county property to the east. So if you're on the county property looking to the west over our site, if you're looking over the trees, you're actually a little bit below. So by the time you look up over the top of the trees, you'll really be looking over top of the building. You probably won't be able to see it. So.
Is that in the, how much is that in the flood zone?
There's a little bit at the very north, up by Longlet Creek, right up in here. There's actually the flood zone right there, and that'll be used for detention, but there's no building or parking or anything.
Detention ponds in that?
Yeah, there'll be detention, there'll be that.
So if we could go back to that tree line that separates, yeah, so there we go. This is looking east.
Yes.
Correct.
That's
yeah.
correct.
So that is the existing tree line.
Yeah, you can see the field here. I'm actually on the driveway for the Hatfield's property, which is on the very west side of their property, looking towards the east. If you go back to that arrow, you can kind of see them. So I'm sitting somewhere right in there, looking out that way with those pictures.
So Emily, you want to tell us a little bit about how we would supplement that tree line?
Sure. So the trees, of course, are all going to be drought tolerant to work with the site. We have a mixture of varying heights as well as evergreen and deciduous, so that you have year-round interest. The varying heights will be set differently on the slope, set back a little bit off. That way, at the end of the day, you have a uniform tree line at the top. But all should work there just to fill in that gaps a little bit more where there's going to be some construction there. To build the site, it's going to fill in pretty nicely and add to that buffer.
Okay, good. And I guess I just have a question. What's your timeline on the building? Just
So currently, given the lead time on materials and the current supply chain issues, this project probably wouldn't start until about this time next year.
Okay.
From a vertical construction standpoint. Some site preparedness could start in advance of that, but we would also have to get through some of our floodplain compensation permits as well as some other just natural due diligence with the site.
Okay.
But it would be our interest to continue to move forward and continue the great success and momentum we've had. So.
all right. Okay. And Emily, we'll be calling on you.
Me?
Yeah. I'm down the road.
Yeah,
Sorry. Yeah, because if you're.
It will help for us to know what the county wants to do with their property, and certainly it can work in tandem, but preserving that tree line, and you can see the significance of it. And it's not scrub by any stretch. I mean, it's got some decent trees. I'm not the person to say that.
There's some great specimens.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so, really happy to work in tandem to enhance whatever is planned for the county site. That's Core 5's way of doing things, and certainly Middlescott's too, so. I think that's the key, to our plan that everybody was concerned about. We have a unanimous recommendation on both of these, so we're hopeful that you all will agree and adopt it. And if you think this plan looks good, then that's Felicia's given us a preliminary review and agrees that it does in fact meet what was discussed at the meeting, and she'll be making that recommendation. I know she's not here to speak for herself, but our thanks to Felicia and Angie and their team for helping us through these.
Okay. So basically, we're hearing from 22-18 too. Is that okay, Rob, or do we need to read it as well?
Well, we'll read it here in a moment, and I'll see if it's up there, if they want to represent or just ask the court to adopt it.
Okay, sure.
I'm definitely going to ask you to adopt what we just.
We'll have to redo everything. We'll have to have a separate presentation from Angie and the reading.
That'll be fine. So, Eric and Mendel Scott and JD?
Yes,
right?
yes, sir.
There you go. I didn't even look at my notes. Emily, thank you all so much. And we'll see you all in a couple of weeks. Any other questions, gentlemen? Members?
I had one, but I think Joe kind of touched on that. You said, is this one going to have a retention basin as well? We had someone in here a few meetings, it's been, I don't know, a couple months ago, was concerned about impacts of drainage to Long Lake Creek, and I was wondering if you don't feel that this is going to impact any additional?
Yeah, we haven't done the detailed design yet, but the plan was to the open space area right up here at the very north. We saved that as a kind of a placeholder, be able to put our detention basin in that area right there. And then the basin went, the site would drain to the basin, then the basin would outlet into Longwood Creek.
Steve, you may have answered the question a little bit more too. You can comment on from a runoff standpoint, how our post-development shouldn't outweigh the pre-development.
Yeah, that would be the purpose of detention.
Can you say that again?
So our post-development runoff, so after we're all done and there's parking lots, it will not exceed the pre-development. So the existing farmland and wetlands that are there have a certain runoff along with.
Right.
After we're done with all of our development, the runoff and stormwater cannot exceed that pre-development. So and the vehicle to do that is a detention basin on site. And so we'll adhere with that very strictly and obviously work hand in hand with all the regulatory agencies as needed. So.
Question on and this is probably just and I know it's in the city, but like in your development one right off of 61 and 245, them basins look like crap. Is there something that's inside there? I know it's not you guys, but I'm just saying that it just looks bad. I mean,
then one more time, the basin's where?
It's on the corner. It's in your first development there, where McKesson's at, in the front of it. Is there anything you guys can do with that?
In the basin right here?
No, on 61.
61 itself.
Yeah.
Is this over? Oh, the winding one?
Yeah, you want me to
Just a question. So you don't have to answer it, but I'm just saying they look bad.
No, it's a fair question. Unfortunately, 4 or 5 years ago, that strip there, that was maintained by Salt River Development Group. And so I know that it's regulated through the Army Corps of Engineers. I don't know much more than that. Yeah, Steve, elaborate. Unfortunately, we just haven't been a part of that.
When the original building was developed, the existing stream kind of went through the middle and wound down to Walnut Creek. And so that was relocated over to that corridor there. It's about 150 foot wide. They call it riparian corridor. And Red Wing, which is now RES, was the ecological firm that did that restoration, and that was all approved and permitted by the Corps of Engineers and the Division of Water. So it's under a conservation easement, so we can't go in there and do anything with it. It's supposed to be allowed to grow up naturally, and yes, there's trees planted, so hopefully as they grow and they get bigger, it'll
Okay.
in itself.
I had a lot of questions about that. I guess if it's under conservation and Corps of Engineers, you can't test it.
If there's any specific issues the Corps can have, it would be actually Salt River, not them, go back there and make repairs if there's something that's structurally not working, but just from a standpoint, it's supposed to stay a natural corridor there.
Thank you for answering that.
Thank you all.
Anything else?
May I ask one question? Eric, I know, and Steve probably is more informed on it, but with like wetland preservation or restoration, there is a requirement that when the vegetation is planted, that the owner or the applicant has to agree that if it dies within X number of years, they will go in and replace it. Is there any kind of agreement or anything like that going along with this, that these plants, that these trees and so forth, that within 5 years something happens, a blight comes through and they die, that you guys are going to replace those? Or?
They have I'm not sure if it's 5 or 7 years, but there is a monitoring and maintenance period that's part of the permit from the Corps of Engineers. Red Wing goes out and does I believe it's an annual assessment. They'll walk it and they'll make notes, and then they'll submit that to the Corps of Engineers and the Division of Water. And if they find that there's something that has to be replaced, then it has to be.
So all of this that Emily's talking about planting on this site is going to be monitored and taken care of by Red Wing?
No, that's not in.
Well, I'm asking what you all are going to do about the
You're speaking.
the one that you're putting
Landscaping on.
That'll be part of the restriction that we're working to get finalized the language and draw up, that in addition to having the landscape plan approved, that they will maintain it, and that'll be in the deed. That'll go along with the property. Those restrictions are incorporated into any deeds.
Right.
I'm sorry, Rob.
No, so yeah, that's part of the plan, is also the maintenance.
Yeah, it does, and that's part of, in the fine print on this, there is restrictions.
And I realize that whatever's going on or not going on with Red Wing and so forth, that's done, federal government.
I thought you were still talking about that.
Yeah,
That straight.
but we are,
Yeah, that lower left-hand corner of that plan is where, and I think above, it's got, if I'm right, it describes.
So the planned vegetation buffer and health plant shown on this plan that'll backfill against what's existing will come, Core 5 requires a minimum of a 2-year warranty on all of our products. So instead of a standard 1 year, we ask for a 2-year because we want longer longevity and a longer run time on kind of the bumper-to-bumper warranty, if you will. After that, we'll also have a third-party management company doing inspections on a monthly basis, just to make sure that, parking lots are clear and trees and vegetation are, upkept, and the grass is being mowed, all of that. And because at the end of the day, we also don't want our facilities being overgrown and looking like rubbish at the end of the day. We want to be a Class A facility, and so we don't have a problem with accepting those kind of terms. Again, we have a standard 2-year warranty, and then if something were to need to be trimmed or need to be whatever, that'll be taken care of with our third-party management company.
all right, thank you.
Let me ask you one question and everything. On the retention basis and everything, what size retention bases are there on the amount of rain that you get? How big is these retention bases going to be?
We haven't done the detailed
Because
design.
when I go back and I keep bringing this up on these different developments, you got over 27,154 gallons of water for every acre of ground that you got. So what size retention are you going to put in there and everything to take care of it? Because all this is going to end up in that creek.
Yes, sir.
So what are you prepared there for the retention bases and everything? You prepared and everything for 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch of rain?
Well, we do it with a design storm. You have a 2, 10, 25, and 100 year. 100 years is the main storm. That's when you get the really heavy rains, which in this area of the country is 7.2 inches of rain in a 24-hour period. So it would be designed to hold the 100-year storm back to, from the post-developed level back to the pre-developed level. And just in general terms, for a site this size, we're looking at something that would probably be on the size of the basin would be on the order of magnitude of about 4 acre feet. So if it was 1 acre in area, it'd be 4 feet deep. If it's 2 acres in area, it'll be 2 feet deep. It'll be somewhere in that range is what we would have for a site of this size.
Okay. That's what I want to know. Because we have a lot of drainage problems in this county. We've got to protect the people and everything, and these streams and everything, and these retention basins has got to be able to take care of this water.
A lot of times, we have trouble fitting that in, but because the property's got that irregular shape, we actually have quite a bit of open area on the north side. Part of it is floodplain, and part of it's just because of the way the property makes an angle in there. It didn't make sense that we couldn't really extend the building and make it larger. So in this case, we probably have a little bit larger than normal area that could be used for detention / floodplain.
Thank you.
Okay.
We're good?
Yep, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Anyone here to speak against zoning ordinance 22-17? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm Seal Beckner. I'm a resident of the Springs out off of Chapiz Road. And just coming here today, I had to pass through construction for the warehouses being built and the turning lane being installed, another non-porous area. And so, according to my horoscope today, I am not to leave things to fate. I'm going to get busy on this, and this is the moment I have to do it. I thought very appropriate because I was planning ever since this was published in Pioneer News, I was going to come here today and talk about it. I did not know where it was located. I thought it was on the other side by the fairgrounds. So I was thankful to see it's on the same side as the other warehouses. But I am old enough to know I have lived through several bubbles. We've had the tech bubble. We've had the housing bubble. Now we've got all this other stuff going on that's causing gas prices go way high, and we just can't get our supplies or whatever. Okay, Bullitt County is going to possibly become an eyesore. Eventually, someone's going to go out of business. Yeah, they can say, yeah, we're going to maintain it for this many years, What's going to happen, though? Nothing's guaranteed in life. The only thing that's guaranteed in life is your soul. So think about your soul. It's going to live forever. It's going to be at peace, or it's not going to be at peace. We don't need to be saturated with warehouses. What's going to happen when there's nothing, right now, they say there's nothing speculated for it. There's nothing to be planned for that warehouse. Yeah, we got the medical ones there. What's going to happen when they become empty? Amazon has put things on hold. It was in the USA Today's paper today. They have put their big plans on hold because they're getting saturated themselves. And they have realized that. Do we need another warehouse in Bullitt County? Well, we get more, just something there, more attractive. Now we don't have to hide it. I mean, what does that tell you right there? If you have to hide it, that's really going to do a lot of good. I think there's 3 warehouses being paved right now for parking on 65 before you get to 245. That's where that area I passed today. And I'm concerned too about noise. Because this is, I live in the Springs, I already am surrounded by the Bullitt County hills. And I get a bounce of I-65 noise. And warehouses are going to make the bounce even more because they're going to bounce off of those walls. So now we're going to have noise pollution. Water. Okay, they built Taylorsville Lake to help control the flooding. Salt River still gets out of its banks. Long Lake Creek is going to get out of its banks. I don't care what you do. We need water to sink into the ground nicely. That's a 1,000-year storm they talked about in the eastern part of Kentucky. 1,000-year. And we're experiencing those more and more and more. So I just want you to think about your soul. Do we need another warehouse in Bullitt County? We've got plenty. Thank you very much. So I spoke my piece.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
For first reading, zoning ordinance 22-18. Angie?
Docket number 2022-Z-39. The owner is Brock and Cindy Hatfield. The applicant is Core 5. The rezoning is conservation to light industrial. The location is Claremont Road. It'll be the 5 acres on that little parcel there they have. The purpose is manufacturing and warehousing, and the future land map does show industrial. The Bullitt County Planning Commission held a meeting on July 14, 2022, and based upon the Planning Commission, they did find that it was an agreement of the comprehensive plan, and they did recommend the rezoning be approved and did send a favorable recommendation to fiscal court.
Thank you, Angie. Rob, please, sir.
Be the first reading, Commonwealth of Kentucky County and Bullitt, zoning ordinance number 22-18. An ordinance relating to changing the zoning of certain property from conservation to IL industrial. The property in question is 5 acres more or less, located at Claremont Road in an unincorporated area of the county. Whereas the fiscal court of Bullitt County, that is public hearing of the Joint Planning Commission and the recommendation of the commission. The information provided to the staff report of the Office of Bullitt County Planning and Zoning, and the testimony as presented at the public hearing of the fiscal court. Whereas the fiscal court concurs in, adopts the reason of the Joint Planning Commission for said zoning change, approves and accepts the recommendation of the Planning Commission in this matter, as said minutes. In terms of proposed zoning change, acceptable and should be approved. Now therefore be ordained by the fiscal court of County of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky, the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission in document number 2022-Z-39, is hereby changed from conservation to ILI industrial. Section 2, this ordinance takes effect upon passing and publication required by law. Section 3, change section provision requires this ordinance be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction. Then the remaining ordinance shall not be effective and shall remain in full force and effect. Section 4, ordinances and resolutions to the extent they exist herewith hereby repealed. Give first reading and public hearing at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 2nd day of August 2022. Begin the second reading and vote upon a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 16th day of August 2022.
Thank you, Rob.
So, if I may, Judge, Ms. Renfro, if you'll just incorporate our discussions into this record as well, we appreciate it.
Okay.
And any questions you have now or later, please let us know.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone here to speak against zoning ordinance 22-18?
No, second try, just repeat what I just said.
Okay, all right. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I totally agree. I think conservation, we're taking conservation land and turning it into a concrete parking lot. I mean, how sad is that for our county? You has to keep building and building and building. There's 3 over here, there's 4 over here, there's 2 more on the river. You know, that's gonna be a concrete parking lot. And all that water. I mean, care about your community. Stop worrying about a dollar bill.
Thank you. Thank you all. Rob, first reading for ordinance 22-13, amending ordinance 14-11 relating to Sunday alcohol sales.
The first reading of Common Kentucky County Bullitt, ordinance number 22-13. An ordinance amending ordinance 14-11 and relating to authorizing the sale of malt beverages, wine, and distilled spirits by the drink and package, the sampling of wine at any licensed Kentucky small farm winery, and the sampling of distilled spirits at any licensed Kentucky distillery on Sundays in Bullitt County, Kentucky. Whereas KRS 244-2904 authorizes the fiscal court to allow the Sunday sales of distilled spirits and wine at retail by authorized licensees. Whereas KRS 244-484 authorizes the fiscal court to allow for Sunday sales of malt beverages by authorized licensees. Whereas 243-155 allows licensed small farm wineries to sell wine that they are bottled or that have been bottled by another small farm winery to serve complimentary samples of wine that they have produced. Whereas KRS 243-0305 allows for providing samples and sales of private selection and souvenir packages by distilleries that obtain a souvenir retail liquor license. Whereas fiscal courts of Kentucky are authorized to enact legislation to promote and support the local tourism industry. Now therefore be ordained by the fiscal court of County of Bullitt, Kentucky. Section 1, sell and samples of distilled spirits, wine, and malt beverages by the drink and package. Subsection A, any premises licensed to sell distilled spirits, wine, or malt beverages by drink or by package may do so in accordance with the laws of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. B, any premises licensed to serve complimentary samples of distilled spirits, wine, or malt beverages may do so in accordance with the laws of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. C, from Monday through Saturday of each week, the sales referenced in subsection A and the samples referenced in subsection B shall be limited to law only by Kentucky Revised Statute or regulations of the Department for Alcoholic Beverage Control. D, for Sunday, the sales referenced in subsection A and the samples referenced in subsection B shall take place only from 10 a.m. until 11 p.m. Section 2, severability. Should each section of provision of process ordinance be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, in such section provision or part shall be deemed separate, distinct, and independent, and the remainder for this ordinance shall not be effective shall remain in full force and effect. Section 3, inconsistent ordinances repealed, all ordinances, resolutions, or parts thereof, to the extent they are inconsistent herewith or hereby repealed. This ordinance takes effect upon passing publication required by law. Give first reading of the regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 2nd day of August 2022. Begin second reading and vote upon the regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 16th day of August 2022.
Thank you, Rob. Okay, the road foreman. Robert. Robert has a lot of equipment to buy, guys.
Oh. Thank you, sir.
Right.
See if y'all can go sit in.
We will. Just bring it to the attention. It's a catch-all.
I think the first thing I got there is the compact excavator. And I got 3 bids turned in on it. If you look back on Wilson come in the cheapest with a case. But their warranty, if you look down through there, their warranty ain't very good at all. And we've got nothing over that is case, so whenever it comes time to work on it, I ain't got a clue. So I kind of pushed them to the side, even though it was a little cheaper. And then all that highlighted stuff at the bottom, they didn't get their prices quite right up here at the top. It's a pretty cheap price up top, but then you got to add on everything that they didn't add on. So their price come out at $88,498, what it actually is, instead of $82. Now the Cat and the John Deere, they did, this warranty is not what's stated on there. We done some talking yesterday after the bid, and they did up the warranty with CAT. So we're good with, we was good with their warranty on there. They come out like $4.90 cheaper. What else did, I've done something else on that one. But anyway, CAT's what we got. We've done bought all the software and everything for CAT to work on them. And we got $8,000 or $10,000, $12,000 in software. We're real good at that. I've told these guys over at Meade that we got some more stuff coming up that we're going to talk to them, but we need to get together way ahead of time and look at their service department and just see how they will treat us compared to everybody else when this stuff goes breaking down. So right now, the way it stands, we'd like to get this CAT going from Boyd CAT to 305 is where we're at with it.
So your recommendation, everything you can get?
Yeah.
Well, I know you looked at it, and I talked to you about this, too. I'll put that on the motion, accept your recommendation.
Second.
Any other discussion? Can we call a roll?
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Rahal?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Logson?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Trailer?
Yeah, on the trailer, we advertised that trailer for bid, we got none. I got the bid notices in here, I didn't give y'all those, I should have. But I contacted Talbot, because I've always liked Talbot trailers, and they do a really good job. But we couldn't get them nowhere near the money. They was about $20-something thousand higher than this Kaufman. Equal trailers. So, I mean, as far as size and weight capabilities. So, I've been looking at this trailer for 4 or 5 months now, trying to find one, and this is the best we've come up with, is a Kaufman. And then I just heard this morning that Meade is also a Talbot dealer. So, but I did reach out to Talbot themselves and talk to them pretty extensively, and they just were in the ballpark on price. I mean, they got a good equipment, but we're not out to buy Cadillacs. We're just going to take what we can afford. So, I like to buy this Kaufman trailer.
Yeah, so let me ask you about this for just a minute. It's for hauling around our blacktop machine and all that?
Yeah, it'll haul everything we got, even that big excavator.
Okay.
And that's our problem. We got down, the trailer we got, I think they got it used. Tim back there might know, I don't know. I'm sure. Yeah, well, I'm sure it was used, well used when we got it.
Okay.
And now it's beyond the well-used part.
You give us a trade in on it?
I don't even know if the scrapyard take it.
Okay. I knew they wouldn't.
But it's getting to the point where it's dangerous running up down the road. So.
Sounds like we need to do something. You put this out for bid, didn't get any responses, and you've done your homework and reached out to several different ones and found this is the most reasonable and it's a good trailer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that what you want to move on? You want to go that route?
That's the best deal we can find, and we spent many hours on each one of these pieces of equipment. They've had a lot of research on them.
I'll make a motion that we accept the bid from Kaufman quote for the 50-ton air ride. Is that called a 50-ton air ride trailer? This trailer?
Yeah, equipment trailer.
Equipment trailer. We accept a quote from Kaufman Trailers for the equipment trailer. What kind of availability or turnaround time did they?
We're gonna say on that trailer, they said they can get us one next week, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And, on the excavators, Meade had one available, today, I think, and.
You say on the excavator, Robert?
They're also available right now. I mean, Cat is about 6 or 7 weeks out. But Meade had one available today. Cat said if we get in a bind and we need one, they'll loan us one until ours actually comes in. But I really don't think we're going to need that right now because we're finishing up down Collins Hill Road this week, and we'll go back to paving. And then we need this excavator when we get ready to go to
I'll get it after.
Catherine Station, work on that bridge. We will need it at that time. So, but the availability should be good on both those pieces so far.
All right, I'll second. Sean.
We need money's there to cut the check for that, because if they got it next week, it sounds like.
Do you need me to cut the check on the delivery?
Just whenever y'all.
Yeah.
Whatever the court wants me to do, yes.
I'd like to have it sooner, but I'd like to have before we move that excavator again, but
Yeah.
we'll go. So.
So, yeah, so I guess just cut the check upon delivery.
Yeah.
You got a trailer to haul the excavator. You got other trailers to haul the smaller one though.
Yeah, the small ones, yeah, we got a couple of trailers for that.
She's got it,
Yeah, 66,950.
Yeah.
950.
Okay, so we have a motion by 2nd District Magistrate Logsdon, a second by 1st District Magistrate Mitchell to pay upon arrival for the Kaufman trailer. Candace, call the roll.
Mr. Ahill?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Logsdon?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Motion carried.
See, thank you guys for being here, though. I kind of leave it up to him, but like he said, we might have to do some business with you in the future or something. It means a lot just he'll showing up and represent your quote and everything. Being here.
Yeah, and this thing, that mini excavator will,
Okay.
somewhere down the road, you can buy different attachments put on it. And they offer the attachments. And what I've looked at on the attachments, they actually got the attachments cheaper than Caterpillar does. And they'll all intertwine with each other.
Interchange.
So we will be looking at that.
Okay. And also Robert has a chipper on there. Our chipper is wore out.
Yeah, the chipper's, it needs to go to shop. When it goes to shop, it's gonna be there for a while. Before we can figure out if we're gonna fix it. I'm sure the engine's wore out on it. So they can't give us a price on what the repair's gonna be on that chipper until they get it. But we really can't put it down until we got a backup up and running. Because we don't never know what's gonna happen at night around here. So we did put the chipper out for bid. I've got a copy of that bid and bid notice in here. Got Pioneer News. I don't think you got that one, did you?
Yeah, here, we got it.
That was just the bid notice.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever forwarded it over to Candy. So,
And give it Candy.
but that's what it was in the Pioneer News. So, so it was bid and we got no bids. So then we were looking again and I was looking at used. I always start out looking at used on everything. And somebody might go out of business with a good machine or something. And, but we couldn't, I got a used one in here. I looked at the Bandits, I looked at everything I could find. The only decent low-hired machine I found used is this one here. It's a 21, but it doesn't have the winch on it. And that's your second page back there. It's a $58,000. Then I gotta get it shipped, out of California. And then a new one with the winch. And I think it's got 300 foot of cable on it. With warranty, $90,000.
That was with the winch?
That's with the winch, and I'd like to go with that winch. The one we got don't have a winch, but the guys over at the road department, they getting younger, they're about my age. So it's a lot of dragging up to that chipper. So,
I think they'll go with the winch. I really do. So, like I say, you did some pretty rough stuff. Some of these things down over the banks and things like that and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a monumental task.
Oh, it is.
Watch some of these guys and everything.
When you get out on them hillsides, it's
Are you making a recommendation on that?
yeah, I'd like to recommend us buy that, the new Vermeer 1500.
I'll put that for most of them. Made it on
And,
check one.
and the availability is good on it.
Yeah, we got the money.
I'll second.
Okay, got a motion by First District Magistrate Mitchell, a second by Second District Logston to approve the new unused Beamer chipper with the winch, payment upon delivery. Kenan, any other discussion, members of the court?
No, I think this is a really critical piece of equipment though for us. I know we get a lot of calls, trees down, limbs down, and you have to do something with them when you cut them. And I know that you all been real busy with that and stay busy, so.
Yep.
Something we gotta keep them roadways clear. So.
Yeah.
Well, that winch is gonna be a real asset. I really will. Because they get into some pretty heavy stuff and they get over these banks and everything, and stuff and everything. They really do need that winch.
That actually saves money.
Then it said if that winch saves one workman's comp claim, it's worth it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do you have a price on that?
90.
On that 90?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing, do you see any, Robert, I noticed at the bottom on here, on the bottom it had a couple of options for additional warranties. Is there any reason we need that, or do you think?
No, I don't think so, because the warranty that they offer, if that machine makes it through that part of the warranty,
yeah,
we're in good shape.
Okay.
Because we're not like on the chipper. Yeah, no, we're not a tree crew to where things out there running 8, 10, 12 hours every day.
Right.
So by the time this warranty runs out, it'll run out on time instead of hours, is what'll happen to us.
Yeah.
And they won't sell us a warranty to cover up to that many hours, because it'd be like 10 years probably to get that many hours over there.
Okay.
So,
Yep. Okay. Any other discussion? Candace, call the roll, please.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Logston?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Rahill?
Yes.
Motion carried.
There you go. So you got you a lot of new equipment, Robert.
all right, thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. We need action to surplus the items from the sheriff's office. It's in our packet. No, you're good, Walt. I'll make a motion to surplus those items.
I'll second.
Any discussion, members? Candace, call the roll.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Logston?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Rahill?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Okay, we have action requested in a new local agreement with the city of Mount Washington, and that's for blacktopping and to be able to work with them on their roads.
I'll make a motion that we accept the interlocal agreement with the city of Mount Washington.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Motion by Second District Magistrate Logston, a second by 4th District Magistrate Rahill to approve the interlocal agreement with the city of Mount Washington on funding of the roads. Candace, call the roll.
Do we have any others and everything that we don't have in local agreement?
Not that I know of.
Always got them all?
Yes.
Do we
Not-
do it every year or something?
Yeah, they have to get it every year.
Right.
I think all the ones in place are in place until next year.
Right.
At this point in time.
Yep. Absolutely. So, can you call roll?
Mr. Logston?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Raheel?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Actions requested for Resolution 2209, an interlocal agreement with the Bluegrass and Central Kentucky Unified Police Protection System. This is to assist the Sheriff's Department moving forward. Well, you want to chat about that for just a minute? Yes, sir.
The county attorney has reviewed the agreement with this backups and has prepared the resolution. I think you've got the original of it. And gentlemen, what this is, unfortunately, as crime is getting larger in the city of Louisville, is changing as it has, criminals are not staying. They commit crimes and they run across these county lines. Well, this organization, Backups, came into existence back in like 2014, and it's most of the counties in central Kentucky, and it's spreading west. Most of the counties in central Kentucky have already entered into it, and what it authorizes is that, and if we have a criminal investigation that we need to go into another county, we need to go into Spencer County or Shelby County or any other county that is a member of this organization, this is an interlocal agreement that sets out a protocol by which we can go into that county, notify that agency that we have sent folks over there, sent detectives over there, police officers over there, deputies over there, and then they have police authority to take police action if need be, as opposed to just merely surveilling. Currently, as we stand right now, these various violent crimes that we've had since I've been sheriff, most all of them have been folks that weren't from Bullitt County or, born, bred, and raised here and so forth, and they go off to other counties. We had, the situation out on Woodsdale Road. Those folks went to Louisville. They went down to, came out of Louisville, went to Louisville, came out of other places. We were in Vine Grove conducting that investigation. We were in Louisville conducting that investigation, and we apprehended one of the subjects in, actually, ultimately both of them, in another county. Now we had to have, because we had to have the assistance of those other county police agencies to make those apprehensions for us, even though we had a good idea where these folks were. We had to deal with their schedules as well. This backups program will allow us to be enabled to go into counties, and again, under the proper protocols. This is not something that's going to generate folks coming to our county or us going to another county because I decide I don't think that Mark Moore's running radar right up in Shelby County. He's the sheriff up there, that I'm going to be sending folks up there to run radar and enforce traffic. But if we have a felony crime that we're investigating, it gives our detectives the authority to go there, inform the sheriff's department there that we have come over there, and then they have the authority to conduct police operations there. It's been approved, again, Andy Bashir approved it back when he was Attorney General, and it's a good number of the counties across the state are. I think we're going to have more. It also provides us with the ability, such as when folks had to go to Western Kentucky over the tornado thing. Everything's in chaos to begin with, but all it takes at that point is when we send folks down there to help, and we did send folks down there to help, all they have to do is come into the county, inform the sheriff's office that they're there, and they have police authority immediately. Same thing happened when they needed help over in Floyd County after those 3 officers and deputies were killed over there. They needed help. They had 400 police officers show up to try to be of assistance. This would operate to give us authority when we got there instead of having to go through red tape to gain that authority. the flooding that they have over in eastern Kentucky. They've asked for help there. We're going to be trying to send help and provide us with a mechanism for that.
Okay. All right.
Is this something that we've done in the past?
We
First time?
We have not. Now, we have an interlocal agreement currently with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office that we've had in place for particular law enforcement activity that we've had in place since back in the late 90s or first decade, because I looked at the agreement the other day and I signed it as county attorney way back then, and it's been in place ever since then. But generally across, that is the only out-of-county agency that we have an interlocal agreement to authorize police action either way, and that had to do with drug interdiction.
Well, does this have to be done does this need to be done every year?
No, sir.
It's permanent, okay.
It's in until we come out. And the mechanism that this will be, it has to be approved by the fiscal court, signed by the judge, signed by me, and then we'll go before the board of directors of backups, and they will then make a determination that, yep, they'll let us come aboard. And I won't go as far as to say that I'm not aware of places that haven't, because most places that are going to get into this have their ducks in a row, and they're not overly concerned.
How many counties now has it got this agreement? Well, you know?
There's approximately about 100 different agencies between county sheriffs and city police departments. I think it's 40 plus counties. Sheriff's office. There's also a number of city police departments that are involved as well. So there's about 100 law enforcement agencies that are already a part of this.
Well, I think it's obviously a no-brainer and a great thing.
It is.
I'll put that in the form of a motion that we accept the resolution 22-09.
Yes, sir.
I'll second that.
Now, just as a prelude, let me point out, the Kentucky Sheriff's Association is looking at presenting a bill, having someone sponsor a bill this next session to have the legislature consider giving sheriff's offices statewide jurisdiction under the same sort of triggers that's already set up in this backups. Again, not so that, the sheriff of Logan County can send deputies up to us up here to run radar, enforce traffic stuff, but when it's a felony that we're investigating, or it's a misdemeanor that we're in that county and we happen to see it committed in front of us, it provides it. Not different than the federal law set up after 9/11. They passed the Law Enforcement Safety Act that says that a law enforcement officer can carry a firearm in any state in the union, which we didn't have that before 9/11. So, anyway.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. We have a motion by 2nd District Magistrate Logsdon, a second by 1st District Magistrate Mitchell to approve Resolution 22-09. Candace, call the roll.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Rahal?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell? Mr. Logsdon?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Number 12, actions requested, and I'll make the request to hire EMS personnel on the attached sheet. There are 3 full-time EMTs and then a full-time paramedic to start in September. Got a second by 4th District Magistrate Rahal. Any other discussion, members of the court? Hearing none, Candace, call the roll, please.
Mr. Rahal?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell? Yes. Mr. Logsdon?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Number 13, I'm making a request to hire Angie Wales for the position of planning technician over at Planning and Zoning and Code Enforcement, effective August the 15th, 2022, at salary rate of $38,480. The staff couldn't be here today because most all of them have COVID.
I'll second it. I think she'd worked there before, didn't she?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, she worked there before.
She was proven. It was 2005, 2009.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Got a second by 1st District Magistrate Mitchell. Any other discussion? Candace, call the roll, please.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Logson?
Yes.
Mr. Laswell?
Yes.
Mr. Rahal?
Okay.
Motion carried.
Chris Henning, from chat.
Morning, Judge. Good morning, magistrates. Appreciate a few minutes to introduce myself. So I am the John Deere Territory Manager for Meade Tractor. Been doing this for about 7-8 months now. However, I am disappointed in the decision that was made today because I think we have a better machine. But there's more to it for me on this because I'm a resident of Bullitt County. So I know that my tax dollars are going to this machine. And that's fine, we'll get there, we'll build this relationship. I want to provide the best that I can for this county. That's why I went, as much as I could go for this current bid. But cost and efficiency is going to be important to me as a taxpayer, as well as to you and to Mr. Watkins, who's doing a good job down there with the road crew. So just a little bit about us. We have let me back up. We sell new, used, and we rent a full line of construction equipment. We also sell trailers, which I didn't know you were looking for a trailer, but I know for next time. From everything from the smallest skid steer to the largest bulldozer and excavator. So anything along that line John Deere makes, we can find for you. We also have 4 full service field trucks. And when you buy a machine from us, we're going to be there that day if it breaks. We may not be able to fix it because we may need a part or something, but it's very important to us when you buy a machine from us that we are there to support that machine. So we also have 5 shop technicians in Louisville that can work on bigger projects, that you don't want to do out in the elements. One more thing on the service department is we'll fix any brand of equipment. So when all this Caterpillar equipment we have down at the county road department breaks and you can't get it fixed because they're too busy, please give me a call because I'll find a way to get it fixed for you, okay? We will be at the mercy of their supply chain on parts. We don't have much control of that like we do ours, but we can fix it. I also told Mr. Watkins we can do work on your ag tractor that's used for mowing. We are not an ag dealer. We don't sell tractors or mowers. We're strictly construction, but we can repair it. So,
Okay.
Last thing, I know the judge has my card and Mr. Watkins has it, so I'm available, and please, I want to build a relationship with this county because it's important to me as a taxpayer, and I'm here for you, so thanks for the time.
Let me ask you something.
Thank you,
help
Chris.
The local people, the farmers and stuff like that and everything too?
We are not an ag center, so we don't carry ag parts. We can access ag parts. So one of our partner stores is Georgetown, which is a combination store. They sell construction and small ag equipment. So there's oftentimes when people will come to us for an ag issue and we'll reach over to them. They have trained agricultural technicians over there. I don't have any trained ag technicians here in Louisville on certain things. But the engines in a green tractor are pretty much the same engines that we have in construction equipment. They're just painted a different color. So a lot of those things we can do. The transmissions are similar. But if you're talking about agricultural implements or harvesters, some of the more technical things, that's not something we could do here in Louisville. Okay.
Chris, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thanks.
Gary Board.
Good morning.
Good morning, Gary.
I attended the last Planning Commission meeting last month, and there was much discussion about adding new regulations in regards to building of warehouses. I'm here to ask Fiscal Court to help in any way you can the Planning Commission to establish more regulations when it comes to light industrial zoning. There are approximately 40 more acres on Cedar Grove Road that will be possibly rezoned from ag to IL. This is right next to a residence, not across the street. I think more regulations are needed. We all discussed retention basins and greenery. Because if you look at the building that was just built on 65 and 480, that's to me terrible for people to see as soon as they come into Bullitt County. Now maybe if they can paint it, make it look nice, okay. But as of right now, I understand we have no restrictions in heights on warehouses. So we don't need a warehouse the size of Garden Food Service right next to Cedar Grove Road, getting closer and closer to residential areas. I think this is long overdue. I think the whole comprehensive plan needs to be revisited, and I think the residents of Bullitt County deserve help in regards to these warehouses. So I appreciate anything that you can do in getting this project moving as quickly as possible. Thank you very much.
Gary, and thank you for your comments, and I want you to be rest assured that we are. That's why we have reorganized planning and zoning and code enforcement and the comprehensive plan, and those you can see with what we adopted for the zoning overlay. There is restrictions on height, and that's something that concerns all of us here in this room, that you go to other areas and where they have the commercial buildings, there's a lot of landscaping. You can't hardly tell that they're not part of the community, and this is something we will push it forward.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Eric is gone. Is it Amber? Come on up here, Amber.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good.
So I called up to the office, I think last week, to ask when the Maryville pool is going to be open. And I didn't get a clear answer. And so I figured I would just come straight to the source because I didn't know. I just want to know more information about that.
Here's what we have. We have a bid from Aquatic. They're a regional, national pool company. Okay, they do like the Jeffersonville Aqua Center, the big pools in Louisville. And we have a presentation for them to present to this court. We inherited a pool that was in disrepair, lots of funding that we had to put forward, and we plan on reworking the whole park. And where that bid stands, it's somewhere around $740,000, of which now we have funding that is available because we have paid off our debt. And we plan to rework that entire 14-acre park. It's the only thing that this county owns. Everything else was multiple agreements with cities, school board, and it's tough to get things done that way.
Yeah.
So this is where we're at. It probably won't be open next year, but probably the year after, because when you look at the detail, it's essentially going to be a brand new pool that'll be environmentally friendly as well. And the environment's a big thing with this administration.
Why will it take so long? Because of the funding?
No, it's not so much the funding, it's the amount of work that has to be done to it. Like I can get the bid, you're welcome to stay and look at the bid. They have to reconstruct the walls. They have to take the entire top off. When it was repaired the last time, a different type of fill was used, to where what happens is the backfill is sinking. So when the backfill sinks, the top is cracked and broke, and it crushes all the internal piping for the recirculation. It needs pumps to do the backwash properly. There's a lot to it. So it's not going to be an overnight fix. And with this court's approval and moving forward, we should start it this fall when they can catch up. We have the same issues with water projects as well. With Roe Hill, just finally got in the paper. We're working on, and there's different projects, but it's, I'm being brutally honest with you, this is where we're at with it.
Okay.
So we do have funding appropriated for that, but it has to be approved by the court as well, because we want to put in new playground equipment, we want to concrete underneath the pavilion, we blacktop the basketball courts, and enhance the walking trails, because it is something significant to that area. Okay? That's where we're at, and you can quote me on that, and
Thank
I
you.
just need 2 of these guys to go with me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amber. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Robin?
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Robin Gilback, and I have a few things. Number one, I do appreciate you. I appreciate the fire department and all that they do for us, and I appreciate the county. I just wish that, there was more of a personal, but number one, whoever is please clicking, I can hear that through your typing. It's okay, it's not your fault. It just felt like somebody was clicking all day. Windstream. Did we do or supplement Windstream to provide fiber for our community?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Number two, McKesson. Employment-wise, are they still up to the numbers that they were? Because my son worked for McKesson and was released in May or April, the end of April. And they were no longer using the big building and moved over here to Cedar Grove. So I'm not sure what the use of that McKesson building is up on 245 for now. Are you aware of that? Are you aware that they made them all get vaccines or they would be fired? Are you aware? I mean, I'm sure a lot of the companies in the area have done that. And I don't think it was fair to the employees or the young kids that were being employed there to be forced to get the vaccine. I had to go through a lot of things for my son not to get it. And I did not appreciate that there was no standing by and just promoting the vaccine to everybody that you should get it. So I just want to know if you're aware. And I do look forward to Windstream if they do put in fiber like there's nothing out there where I live.
Right, and that's, and to help you, Robin, that's the intent, but it's tied up with Stites and Harbinson and their attorneys over some language on their bid. So, and...
they're promoting it. They're promoting they're putting fiber.
Yes, ma'am.
But they're not.
No.
So I just want to make sure you're aware of that because they tried to get me to do it and then turned around and said, no, we're putting in copper. But told me they were putting fiber in.
Yep.
So,
yes, ma'am.
Just thought you should be aware.
Okay, thanks, Robin.
Thank you.
Okay. Joe, I'll start with you this time. What do you say?
I'm good. Like I say, I just appreciate everybody being here and, let's just keep moving forward and keep working together.
Okay. Joe?
I'm good.
Well. Sean?
Just keep everybody in Eastern Kentucky in your prayers. I know Walt said that he'll be looking at sending some people down there and doing some different things. And I know we talked earlier and thinking about what we can do as a community once we find out more specifically what they need. There's been so much a response down there. It's kind of amazing. And seeing the National Guard, a 96-year-old lady getting pulled up from a helicopter, it's just amazing, when everybody comes together. But no, I don't have anything else. Unless you know anything about the Bogard traffic light. I've had several people reach out.
No.
Know anything on that yet?
No, not till they told us the last time we chatted with them until Western Kentucky got all fixed up. It'd be next.
Only thing I was just going to kind of echo it. That's going on out there in the eastern part of the state and everything. I think it's horrible. It's horrible and everything. And, those things can happen right here. They really, really can. I just have a lot of sympathy for them. And I don't know, I guess Walt, you probably hear a lot from that area up there from law enforcement, how things are going up there.
Through the KSA and they're kind of just now getting started on getting a handle on just how bad the problem is. Whitesburg, Kentucky, they lost, and nowhere near what they lost in regard to life, but the police department in Whitesburg lost 6 police cruisers. I can't, I can't fathom a flood like that because I've never, we've never lived around mountainous areas that, you know, everything's fine at 9 o'clock when you go to bed, and then 1:30 in the morning, your house is taken away.
That's all, I just wanted to kind of echo what Sean was saying and everything. You see so much about it and everything. I mean, they're still in the search and rescue over there. Don't tell them what they're gonna turn out, but yeah. But I don't know where all them people gonna go.
No.
Have a bad situation, pretty bad.
No, I don't either. Anything else, Dennis?
No.
You good? I have a couple items. CASA, those of y'all in this room, they're doing a fundraiser. They're Summer's Nights Out. It's August the 13th from 6 to 8 p.m. over at the conference center. So if you can make it over there to make it, CASA is a great organization and it can use all the help that it can get. And in the lines of the flooding in eastern Kentucky, Justin and Eric is putting together what I'm going to say our enclosed trailer that we partner with the health department, and Jim Edens, the mayor of Hillview, and Mayor Taylor has volunteered to help fill that trailer. We're looking for a location. We'll probably put it out here in the parking lot to be able to send up to eastern Kentucky. They recommended 3 counties, but they're also trying to look for a warehouse similar to what they did in western Kentucky for relief for the tornadoes. So stay tuned to our Facebook page. Tom, on your network, if you can help us with that, our Fiscal Court page, and we'll get all that information pushed out no later than 24 hours from now as well. And I'm sure Mayor Armstrong and Dangerfield and Hockenberry and the rest of them will contribute time and effort as well too. But they need cleaning supplies and non-perishable food right now. That's all they're looking for. They don't want any clothes. They have plenty of what I'm going to say clothes, but they're looking for cleaning supplies and non-perishables. Also, one other thing, had a really good friend and someone who I've looked up to for almost 30 years, Dean Watts, the county judge of Nelson County. He retired. He was county judge for almost 29 years, 28 years, and what you want to call it, the amount of months is. He retired July 31st. But today, the governor called down and he appointed Nikki Rapier. Nikki had to grab a coat tie to go over to relieve Bernard Ice from a magistrate there to run their court. So, and Nikki's been involved in this community for many years. And he has a great history of helping this community, and we look forward to working with him for the next, all the way up until December 31st as well. So this is where we're at today. But don't forget CASA in eastern Kentucky. Those are 2 real important efforts that we need to push forward. And George, I'm glad you're still here. I can't say enough good things about you. And thank you for all that you've done for our community over the years.
Thank you, absolutely.
And Mayor Taylor, thanks for showing up. Didn't put you on the spot, but I know you know that end of the country really well. So, Dennis, what time is it?
It's time for me to make a motion to adjourn.
Okay. We got a motion by 1st District Magistrate Mitchell, a second by 4th District Magistrate Ray Hill, to end the Bullitt County Fiscal Court of August 2, 2022. Thank you. Joe, you're spot on. I'll sign it.